Hey guys, it's Steve with Prima Coffee Equipment here. We're taking a look today at Astoria's lever-operated espresso machines, the Rapallo and the Gloria. We're just going to take a look at some of the similarities and differences, kind of compare the two to let you know which one might be right for you if you're considering a lever machine. So we're starting off with the Rapallo. The Rapallo is it's available in 2 or 3 groups, and it is Astoria's kind of more classically designed lever machine. You'll see it has these kind of retro-styled stainless steel panels. It's got this beautiful blue backlight on the back side of the machine, sort of these older throwback style knobs, exposed groups. Everything about it just kind of says this is a classic Italian espresso machine. Now these are spring-operated lever machines, so our pistons function by pulling the lever down, which compresses the spring, pulls the piston up, allows water to enter the brew group, and then allowing the lever to pop back up. The spring will decompress, it will start to force the piston down and push water through your coffee. So that is it's a little bit different of a way to pull a shot of espresso. If you're more used to a pump machine, this is a more manual way to pull a shot, and it's also a little bit limited in its water capacity. So the brew group itself only holds about maybe 2 fluid ounces of water, and then you can get a little bit more flowing through by pulling the lever down multiple times or leaving it down at the very bottom so that low pressure kind of pre-infuses for a little bit longer. There's a few different things you can do, but you don't really have a continuous flow through your coffee. The way that the spring decompresses is also a different sort of pressure profile from a pump-operated espresso machine, so it extracts coffees a little bit differently. If you're used to a blend that's dialed in on a pump-operated espresso machine, it's going to taste a little bit different on a piston. Other than that, we have plenty of steam. We've got 2 steam wands, a hot water tap, typical features, and again, it's a one large steam boiler, so we have tons of steam power, but not really anything in the way of kind of fancy technology. It's a very manual way of making espresso, and it's kind of more of that craft-focused or tradition-focused style, rather than high technology focused on data or electronics and that kind of thing. The Rapallo is available in either 2 or 3 groups, and both are 220 volt only. So when we talk about the Gloria, we can talk about how there's a little bit more options in terms of power. Both the Gloria and the Rapallo are available in a Gasket option, which means that at the factory they can install a gas burner and a connection for either propane or natural gas. Now there is a couple considerations for that. First is that does actually get rid of the UL compliance, so that could be something that you need to keep in mind for your local health codes or building codes. Just something to kind of keep in mind. It's not going to be the same thing everywhere. But if UL is something that is required for an espresso machine in your area, that would not be allowed. But that gas conversion does allow you to put one of these machines in a mobile setting or anywhere where you might not have access to, in this case, 220 power. So you'd be able to heat up the boiler via gas. It is a little bit slower and a little bit less powerful than the heating elements inside the machine. So the recovery time is a little bit slower. If you're doing a low volume environment, you know, you're only pulling a few shots an hour, you have a little bit more time between customers, you'll probably keep up pretty well, but it's not really going to be enough for high volume, high demand environments. Again, it does still give you some options in terms of putting it in a mobile setting, such as a food truck or a mobile coffee cart. So it's a really nice option to have to put a beautiful espresso machine in a non-shop, non-cafe environment. You do still need to have a water supply, so you might need to run a boost pump or find a mains connection, but apart from that, you just won't need the full power to the machine. Let's take a look at the Gloria. Now, just to quickly discuss the similarities internally and in terms of like the lever groups and everything, these are essentially the same machines. We still have the same lever-operated brew groups, and in fact, while the Rapallo has exposed groups and the Gloria has these sort of shields, they are still the same actual brew chambers and groups. So you're extracting coffee in the same way, you use the same portafilters, pretty much everything is the same in terms of coffee brewing. Now the Gloria is available in 1, 2, or 3 groups, and it's also available in either 110 or 220. The 110 models include the 1 and 2 groups. The 2 group is also available in 220, and the 3 group is 220 only. Again, we also have that Gasket available. And apart from that, the other main distinction with the Gloria, apart from style, it's a little bit more of a modern looking espresso machine. Apart from style would be that we also have the opportunity to have cool touch steam wands. Those can be installed at the factory, which gives you, it's more of a kind of a comfort feature. It's really nice to not have to, grab onto one of these steam wands and burn yourself every time you use it. Especially if you have the 220 version, you are capable of much higher production volume. And if you're using the steam a lot, it's always a pain literally to grab onto that wand and burn yourself. So Cool Touch wand is a fantastic little feature to have as an option. We also have a hot water tap in between the groups here. And again, apart from that, it's much the same machine as the Rapallo. It functions the same way and you're pulling the shots the same way. Between the two, you have fantastically built lever-operated espresso machines. Again, a little bit slower than an auto-volumetric or even a semi-auto machine, just because you do kind of have to stand there. You've got to pull the lever. You don't have to babysit it while it finishes, but you might need to do 1 or 2 pulls if you're looking for a little bit more volume out of your shots. Other than that, fantastically built machines, super reliable, and the espresso, of course, is great. So that is the Rapallo and the Gloria lever machines by Astoria. Thanks for watching.